Hello, everybody. I am here once again with another impromptu live stream, and we're going to open up this box that has a couple of epic collections in it. I know all of you have been waiting patiently for this box to arrive, right? Yeah? No? Well, before we get started, just wait for a few more people to jump on the stream. I have another package that I can open up in the meantime. So, and then I want to show you something kind of weird, not related to this package. But this is not an epic collection. This is Tales from the Crypt, Volume 3. And if you've seen some of my past live streams, you know that I love these books. These are horror stories from the 1950s. Really great, just short stories that are just designed to um, kind of scratch that itch for those of you who love the horror side of things. It's not completely horrific, but compared to today's standards, but these are the stories that caused Dr. Frederick Wortham to write his book about how comic books were corrupting the youth of today. And eventually they went on to create the Comic Code, which censored a lot of comic books in the 1960s and onward. So this is the stuff. And it's just wonderful. There's a lot of fantastic artists involved in this. And all of these stories are, about 6 to 8 pages, and they're a lot of fun. I see my friends James and Phil are online. How you doing, you guys? Good to see you um, in the chat as always. Okay, something weird I wanted to show you. So I'll put this down here for a second. We all know about, for those of you who have been following Epic Collections for a while, we know about this Epic Collection, right? Deadpool Volume 1, and how for some reason it got printed without the title on the cover. Big mistake, and sometimes that happens. These are all, layers on Photoshop, and accidentally something gets clicked off when it shouldn't get clicked off, and nobody notices as it runs through the printer, and then the books get shipped from the printer right to the distributor, so Marvel doesn't even really see. They might get an advance copy, but the advanced copy is just to test the paper and that kind of stuff. It's not actually from the print run. So something that happens probably between the time that the proof copy is made and then the actual print run goes along, that something happened to the PDF or whatever file they were working in, and there you go. It's not on the title. If the title's not on the cover there, if they reprint it, will it get a title? I'm sure it will. The logo, I mean, I'm sure it will. Um, oh, we're getting some comments here. Let's see what it says here. This may be a weird question, but I've only ever been familiar with Tales of the Crypt from the show. Do the comics feature the Crypt Keeper? Yes, um, they do. The Crypt Keeper looks very different in the comics than it does in the TV show. It's not the same sort of ghouly head, but the Crypt Keeper sort of introduces the stories. he always uh he always kind of introduces the story at the beginning and usually has a little panel at the end to wrap it up as well. But it doesn't look the same. Um, when does it come out? It's out now. You can probably find it at your local comic shop. Okay, sorry. When does the Deadpool Epic Collection? This one's been out for a long time. This one is not a new one. This came out. What is the date on this? This came out in early 2022. So anyway, it's not getting a reprint, but I wanted to just show you this because something else happened, and I didn't notice this the other day when we were looking at the Old Republic reprint that I got in the mail. Star Wars Epic Collection Legends: The Old Republic Volume 1 reprint. Something that people have been asking for a long time, and Omar Omar on near mint condition, he messaged me and says, "Did your copy of Star Wars the reprint, does it look like this?" And he showed me a picture, and yeah, there's something missing on this spine. Here's what it's supposed to look like. Now, that's a pretty big goof. I think with a logo on the front, you can get away with that because, people can still tell what it is. It still says on the spine, there's a character on the front. But if you don't have the logo on the spine and you just put that on the bookshelf and in the comic book store, especially because it's supposed to say Star Wars right there, like that's a pretty big goof. So the question is, are they going to recall all of these before they hit the stores? Or are they going to let this go? So if there is a delay in in shipping this one, just know that that's the issue. Is that I think they're trying to hopefully they're going to see if they're going to reprint that or not. I don't know. Um, Pretty big goof. I can't imagine that people are going to be happy about that over on Marvel's side. So on the plus side, though, they are using so the old version of this had some pretty glossy paper, pretty thin glossy paper. This new version of it that doesn't have a spine on the doesn't have the logo on the spine is using some nice thicker paper. It actually feels a lot nicer going through this book. But the insides, other than that, are completely the same. So other than this goof right on the spine there, whoops. So we'll see what happens. See if they decide to not release that. Anyway, let's open up the box here. Um, a true stealth reprint. It's the dark side of the spine. Love it. Never seen anything like that. Variant spines, yeah. I can live with a lot of misprints, but that's tough to swallow. It is, especially since the spine is like the thing that you will be looking at 99% of the time because it's on your bookshelf, right? So, yeah, it is kind of a drag that it's like that, and they hope that uh, yeah, I don't know what they're going to decide to do because it's pretty costly to scrap the entire print run and go again. But if any company can afford to do that, it's probably Marvel. Going on here, we've got some extra tape on the side today. So these are the books coming out the last week of May. I believe it's the 28th. There are two in here. Looks like they both have names on the spine, so that's good. The first one's a reprint, and it is The Avengers, Volume 1, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And they have recolored this. I have pulled out my original copy just so we could take a look. They have given us a new color spine, a new color logo on this to differentiate the printing. In fact, it even looks just a little bit different. Uh, you can tell by like the lettering in the word "the." It's just a little bit different. I guess more accurate to the era that it was originally printed. So there you go. It does feel a little bit thinner than this original volume. Not too bad though, almost the same. Um, but I'm guessing that they are going to upgrade some of their files because they Marvel went and remasterworked the masterworks editions of this content, and there should be hopefully some new pages. So I'll take a closer look through this after the live stream and post some closer up pictures if I can find some examples of of the restorations being redone in this volume here. And for those of you who were waiting for this one for a while, there you go. It's going to be back in stock at the end of May. Classic Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. This is the very first volume of the Avengers. Someone said there's no drop shadow on the new logo, and that's not exactly true. There is a green drop shadow. It's just not as easy to see. There you go. Oh, here the title is different too. They are Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Yeah, so they got a new. This one is the new version. It's got a new caption at the top of the page there. Anyway, so that's that. The new book for this week, Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection, Volume 10, Big Apple Battleground. Here's, oh, I flipped it the wrong way. Here's a look at the spine. We got Spider-Man right there from the front cover. This is not the cover that they originally had solicited the book with, or in the previews at least, and got an upgrade. I think is a good choice. Peter graduates from college in this one. It says here Peter Parker proposes to MJ, and the Green Goblin returns, and more. So from 1977 to 1978, Amazing Spider-Man 165 to 185, Annual 11, and Nova 12. Next volume after this has the first appearance of Black Cat. Yeah, looking forward to that Amazing Spider-Man. I think this is the start of Denny O'Neil's run on Spidey. Most of this, I think, is Len Wein, but let's have a look. Um, no, Denny O'Neil's not listed in the credits there. Len Wein, Marv Wolfman, with Bill Mantlo, Archie Goodwin, and Scott Edelman. Mostly penciled by Ross Andrews. So that, and Ross Andrew was primary penciler of Spidey during this time. So I'm gonna get a lot of that kind of stuff here. Let's take a look. It's a very classic. I think a lot of people who, when they think of Spider-Man and Peter Parker, think of this era. There's the Lizard. This is also an era with a lot of just kind of silly villains. Stegron, Spider Slayer's back, and Superstar right there. That guy. There's the Will o' the Wisp, or is that Superstar? Of course, plenty of J. Jonah Jameson action right here. Have any of you been reading the new Ultimate Spider-Man book by Jonathan Hickman? I read the first issue and it was it was pretty good. He really excels, I think, at character drama. No action in that book though, not yet at least. Um, yeah, it's nice. This stuff has all been masterworked before, so we're getting some top quality restoration in these pages. There's the Rocket Racer. Is that the first appearance of Rocket Racer? Oh, it looks like Molten Man coming back in this volume too. So a lot of these characters that I feel like are the kind of the second wave villains. The first wave being, of course, the Ditko era. And I guess Molten Man kind of falls into the category too, doesn't he? But uh, there's Green Goblin coming back. But yeah, flipping through here, we don't see a whole lot of the classic ones. I mean, we saw Lizard, but don't see any Doc Ock or Craven or Chameleon. Oh, I stand corrected. Look at all those guys right there. Although this is just I think this is a feature in the annual. Look at Rachel's in this one a lot. I think though that it's kind of the era of black exploitation when they also introduced characters like um, Luke Cage. Who's this dragon guy? I've never read this issue before. Oh, I Rocket Racer. You remember from the Spider-Man animated series? I remember that. That's kind of where I first heard of Rocket Racer too, I think. Super excited that we're approaching one of Marvel's best eras to be collected in epics. Roger Stern's Spidey, Walt Simonson's Thor, Frank Miller's Daredevil, John Byrne's Fantastic Four. Lots of awesome stuff yet to come. Yeah, they kind of all saved that for last, right? And so that yeah, it's all going to come out at the same time, which is great. I think a lot of fun. With the release of this book, do you think Spectacular could be released to run together with Amazing Spider-Man? They'll start releasing them as this one comes on because yeah, the next volume would coincide with the beginning time-wise of Spectacular Spider-Man, wouldn't it? Yeah, maybe. Um, I'm not sure if they're going to do that or wait for more of these volumes to come out. I don't know what their plan is. Jason Hicks says that this is the 22nd Amazing Spider-Man epic. That's pretty amazing. Uh, yeah, we don't have a whole lot more to go with classic Spidey here. Let's see. We just have the gap of volumes 11 to 14, and of course the missing volume 16. So that gap is closing in pretty good. Now, of course, they're extending the goalpost on the other end by now getting into the Clone Saga in the 90s. But there we go. They're moving along pretty quick still. I think they're going to hold out on Spectacular Spidey Epics until the Omni goes out of print. That's a good thought. They probably will. They don't want that to eat away at potential sales. Oh, I knew this question was coming. Do we have a possible ETA on the next batch of Epic announcements? Not at this time. Omar has asked, as far as I know, and they don't have anything ready for us, so we don't know exactly when that's going to come. Steve, you're catching me live. That's good. All the way in California. Nice to see you. Um, okay, so this volume, like I said, coming out May. Oh, okay. That looks just amazing. What are they called? The Spider Squad. Uh, it's really you here on Alive. Appreciate your knowledge. Thanks, Gabriel. Thanks for that comment. What's your favorite Spidey run? I'm definitely I'm definitely a 90s guy. That's when I got into Spider-Man when I was a kid. So I'll always favor the Mark Bagley era with David McLiney writing. I do like that. Although the early stuff from John Romita from the late 60s, moving into the early 70s, I also really like that stuff too. Um, if we're going outside of just the core title, I'm a big fan of Ultimate Spider-Man, the original one from a decade ago or so. That's really good. Okay, so uh, Comics Companion just says hi. Thank you very much. Pre-ordered the reprint of Assassin Nation. Looking forward to adding some Todd McFarlane Spidey in my Epic collections. Yeah, there's all of his Spidey, his Amazing Spider-Man is already published in Epic collection, but they seem to be going out of print pretty quick. He's definitely still a popular artist, and all of those books that he illustrates they just keep on going in and out, and they've reprinted them too, and the reprints go pretty quick. So you got to catch them when you can. For those of you who came in a little bit late, we also took a look at this new Avengers reprint also that got a different logo on the front. Seems to be pretty consistent. The last few reprints have all had new logos, which is nice to be able to distinguish the printings on the covers just by looking at them like that. So there you go. Um, Quick question. Do you think we'll get epics of short ancillary titles like X-Men Classic, Untold Tales of Spider-Man? Um, if they're willing to do short runs like Morbius and Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, I mean, I know those ones have name recognition going behind them, and they were kind of used to tie into the TV shows that were coming out or the movies that were coming out. But X-Men always sells, and those old classic trades, that collect classic X-Men, the two of them, they're perfect for just porting them over to Epic Collection. So I think when they're ready to reprint those again, because I think they're out of stock now, when they're ready to reprint those again, they should uh, give the Epic Collection trade dress. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I love your FF video that summarized the FF epics. Do you have others? Oh, sorry. Do you have that on any others? Yes, I have a couple. I have one on like Silver Surfer and I think I did one on Spider-Man. But yeah, I should get back. The problem is these come out so frequently that I get one done and then it's out of date, like within a few months. Um, Phil says, "Yeah, they did kill Raven. Anything is possible." Yeah, that is definitely true. And Kill Raven doesn't even have any sort of media tie-in or name recognition to go off of it. They just put that one out there. It was a big surprise, but there you go. Um, yeah. So for those of you who were late, also we took a look at this Star Wars New Republic reprint that is missing the logo on the spine. Whoops. So we're hoping that Marvel recalls the book before it gets out into distribution because that is um, a pretty bad mistake. Okay, let's see here. Did I get the ROM omnibus yet? You know what? I haven't. It's just they're just too expensive. I am not going to pick that one up right away. I know that I am playing with fire because will it come out as Epic Collection? I don't know, but I'll find it one way or another. I have a lot of the original issues, so I'm not as um, concerned, I guess, about getting it right away. Jason Hicks says, "I know your podcasts are extremely time consuming to make, but they are greatly missed." Thanks, Jason. Yeah, I am not. I haven't done one of those in a long time. Um, we'll see if I can get back around to that. But at the moment, life is a little bit just too busy with various different things that are going on. Um, you'll have to listen to them again. I think there's like 200 episodes up there, right? So, start from the beginning. I'm sure you won't remember anything about those first episodes. In stock trades has the red tag sale, $50. That's actually really good. Maybe I'll have to check that out. Um, there we go. Well, everybody, it was kind of a short live stream, but I was able to show off these two new Epic collections that are coming out at the end of May, and I hope that um, I hope they make it to your way safely. Okay, one another question here. What are your thoughts on double dipping? You mean like Epic collections that have the content in the same books? There are the number of us who collect every single one of these is very small, and so I'm fine with double dips because it makes a better reading experience for the people who aren't collecting all of them. So if someone is just a Silver Surfer fan, I'm fine that the first volume of Silver Surfer is mostly issues from Fantastic Four because that's where his early character development happened. And for those people who are just getting the Silver Surfer line, it would be like missing a big part of the story. So I'm fine with it. Do you think that the classic line of epics will now be printed in chronological order, or do you think they could still jump? Um, they're still going to jump, and I know this because Avengers they were doing chronological. Um, they did volumes 1 through, let's see, what did it get to? Volume 1 through 10, the Yesterday Quest. Now, Evil Reborn is coming out in May, and then they're jumping to volume 13. They're skipping volume 12, and they're going straight to volume 13. So they are not going all chronological still. There's sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. I am an epic completist, not much different than collecting single issues and then trades. Yeah, that's double dipping as well for sure. Just started my epic collection with X-Men Proteus and Disillusion and Rebirth. Loving jumping between 90s and classic. Yeah, those are some very different books for sure, but I'm glad that you're enjoying that. Oh, you want to take a look at the bonus pages in this Spider-Man? Let's take a look at that before I sign off here. Because look at how much black there is at the end of that. That's a lot of bonus pages. And let's see here. King size annual. We get just the first front page. It says Annual 12 presented an edited reprint of Amazing Spider-Man 119 to 20 with a new cover by John Byrne and a new title page by John Romita and Frank Giacoia. So that's included in there. That's cool. Treasury edition cover and back cover. That was reprints all on the inside. Who recognizes this page, this famous picture of Stan Lee? It says it's from Foom number 17. Posted a cover featuring an interview with Spider-Man co-creator and Marvel icon Stan Lee. And this, of course, was used in the Marvel trading card. That's where I first saw this image. Lots of Foom content. In fact, is this? It looks like the whole Stan Lee interview is included in here. Boy, it's a long one. Yeah, it's like 8 pages. I'm not sure why they put it in this epic collection in particular. It looks like it's career spanning. Although it does call out some of the issues that are in this book, so it's a contemporary interview. An interview with John Romita, conducted by David Anthony Kraft. Both of those creators passed away recently. Some info on the calendar, the monthly calendar that they always put out in the 70s. The Hulk volume that came out recently, was it Hulk that had or Avengers had some of the calendar pages as well, because they always put new art in there and little fun, typical fun stuff from the Marvel bullpen in the boxes of the calendar. That's great. February, March, April, May, the whole thing. That's what's taken up. That's what all the bonus pages are. October. So much Foom content. Marvel's Man in Japan. Um, this is about the Spider-Man show, the the Japanese Spider-Man show. An article about that. That's pretty cool. I do not know much about that show at all. That's great. Wow. And then a pinup by Gil Kane from Marvel Tales 100. One piece of original art. It's the one where Spidey or Peter Parker graduates from college. The one that we see on the back cover here. There we go. That's great. Um, Fatal Attractions Epic isn't collecting the event in its entirety. I'm guessing they're going to put that in some other X Epic, maybe Excalibur. I don't think we're going to see the whole thing in its entirety in any Epic collection. If you want that all between two covers, you're going to have to probably go for the X-Men Milestones trade paperback or the omnibus. But I'm pretty sure, because a lot of it um, is a lot of that storyline is just kind of the own characters dealing with their own things in their own book. So I don't think we're gonna see it all in one place. This week we have Fatal Attractions and Thunderbolts. It's a great week. Yeah, those are both great volumes. Almost graduated, right? I noticed The Secret of the Petrified Tablet Epic does not have a white text summary on the top of the back cover. Is that an error, or was that intentional? No idea if it was an error, but there are a number of volumes that don't have any sort of little caption at the top. A number of Fantastic Four ones don't, and some of the X-Men ones don't. But I don't know if that's intentional or not. When they were reprinted, they didn't. Those books, the ones that didn't have the title, they didn't suddenly have a title. They just left it blank. If the DC Finest events sell, I bet Marvel will follow suit. I'm betting that too. I think that both of them are paying close attention to each other in that regard. When do you think we'll be getting Marvel modern epic collections from Spider-Man? I know we just started the Clone Saga. I kind of want Marvel to release the missing volumes in the middle. Yeah, The question is whether those missing volumes in the middle are considered modern or not. Personally speaking, I don't think that they'd be considered modern. I think they're still considered classic. Um, but I mean, Marvel could just jump ahead because, out of order. But I don't know. I don't know when we're gonna get more. I can't imagine that they'll go too long without doing any more modern Spider-Man Epic collections, since he's kind of their flagship character. But it might come out with the release of I guess the next Spider-Man media like film project is the animated series that's coming out, the freshman year, or I think they changed the title to that. But at that point, we actually might see Ultimate Spider-Man modern era epic collections, because that would tie in a little bit more to that show, being a young Peter Parker in high school. I personally don't mind the lack of those white blurbs on the back. If anything, it allows the art to pop more. I think X-Men Second Genesis added the blurb in the reprint. Oh, I'll have to check. I did not notice that, if that was the case. Or maybe I did and I just forgot. Well, everybody, there we go. That is our live stream for the day. I thank everyone for paying attention and joining me today. Feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It always helps. And otherwise, I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. See you later.